grand, it covers both of her kids for the same premium. I have 4 kids. The same 50 grand for each of them is the same premium. Just because I got more kids doesn't mean I pay more than she does. That's why I was telling Tanya, babe, we need to have a few more, man. We have all child riders. We good. We ain't got to worry about that cost, boo. She cursed me out for a different reason. But anyway, the point is you get it, right? It doesn't matter how many kids you have. Right? It covers all of them for the same price. All right? Now, it's up to the age of 25 that is covered. And at that point, they're eligible to take out 5 times their original coverage at the health that they started at in the first place, up to $125,000. So regardless of what their health situation is, they have that option. Cool? Awesome. And then achieve contestability, obviously the 2-year period.
Hey?
Yes, ma'am.
You said up to the age of 25. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep,
Okay.
up to the age. Think about that, right? Well, because nowadays, I guess these kids need us for a long time, girl. I don't know. Right now, I'd say 17. I don't know about you, right? But yeah, to the age of 25. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Now, one of the best ways to cover, and I'm not going to go into the details of this because I want to get to the case studies before it's too late. So the worst thing that can happen to a family, financially speaking, as you guys know, is death of a loved one or a breadwinner. And life insurance ultimately does not protect life. It protects the money that individual brings. So as it relates to term, to me, this is the best tool to use to explain term insurance and why it's important, why it's the right thing to have. Right? And some of you already know this. Hey, when you first start off, you have young kids, debt, mortgage, to pay for, a lot of bills. So it's hard to save as much money as you can in the beginning. Therefore, the need for life insurance is at its highest point. But as time goes on, eventually the kids grow up. Hopefully get out of the house. They start living their lives. They won't need you from the same purpose financially. Little to no debt, mortgage paid for, right? In retirement, you better have money. See, life insurance at that point becomes a luxury. Technically, you don't need it. So here's my goal, Donald and Gemaline. My goal is for every family I sit with to ensure that they are completely debt-free over time, but simultaneously, I want to protect them. Give them the highest coverage possible for the least cost possible. That is why term is appropriate. Now, I teach them the difference that they were paying in their whole life or that they have extra to start increasing the cash estate in different ways, from your 401ks to your IRAs or Roth IRAs, right? To different methods of saving and investing money until the amount of money you saved equals the life insurance you needed. At that point, you are what I called self-insured, meaning you have enough money accumulated that you can stop paying your life insurance and you continue saving money so that you can reach retirement in the best way possible. That's how I explain it. So it proves that term is appropriate. Now, I sometimes use the example that happened to me recently. I've had a client for about 10 years. She had $500,000 when I first sat down with her. We caught up again in December. She now has $350,000 in her 401k at work and another $150,000 in a bank, equating to $500,000. So I told her, guess what? We've accomplished a major goal in life financially. You are self-insured. Do you remember this? And of course, I had to kind of explain everything again. And she goes, so I don't have to pay for life insurance anymore? And I said, nope. And she was paying like $100 or something like that a month. She said, well, I can save the $100. I said, yep. She said, but you're the insurance agent. You sure you want to tell me that? And I use that to my advantage. She has given me a ton of referrals because of that. Because it's the right thing to do for the family, guys. We're not just insurance agents, man. We want to help you get to and through retirement. Insurance just happens to be the foundation of that. Pretty cool, right? So let's go into some of these case studies. All right, so case study number 1, and these actually all happened, I think, this week, believe it or not. Just for whatever reason, I came across a lot of people with term policies this week. So 59-year-old They have a policy with Bankers Life. They've had it for about a year now, paying $15,000 in coverage, $57 a month. And they were recently offered another $50,000 for another $53 a month with a AARP. So, suggestions, questions. How would you handle this here? Let me give you some numbers, right? So I took a look, right, as I'm speaking, I took a look at coverage with us today at her age, and she's in good health, right? So I took a look at coverage with us today. A 20-year level term is $106 per month with us today. Now, what are some of the challenges you're going to face in closing this family or this individual in this case?
Convincing them to savings.
Okay, forget savings for now. Just let's stick to insurance.
Well, it's going to be more premium.
Man, I'm paying $57 a month. I know you're giving me more coverage, but they offered me $53 a month for the same 50 grand. I'm giving you, and I didn't put this in, the same $50,000, 20-year level term is $106 a month. How do you overcome this?
Okay, we got it. You said, how long is the term?
Now you're asking the right question. What do you mean by that, Donald?
How long is the AARP term?
Now, if you guys know AARP is always what?
A whole lot.
No, 5-year renewable policies.
They're always increasing.
Right? And that's what they have. That's the product they're known for. Right? So in this case, she took a look at another policy for a 10-year level term for $53 a month. Now, guys, you and I both know 20 years is not the same as 10 years, but the clients are not going to understand that. They don't view it that way. So how do you close this? How do you bring value in this particular situation?
After that term is up with the AARP, she's going to be paying more, or, it's going to increase. And by us giving her a 20-year term, there's longer time for her to be covered, and it'll stay at that level amount.
Beast mode, exactly. So essentially, okay, you had it for a year. So if you want more coverage, another 50 grand, right? You're going to be paying the combination of 57 and 53, which is $110. And you're going to end up being 69. What happens at that point?
Term is up.
It's up. You no longer and actually, I put 20. That's the next case. It's actually 15. I apologize. 15 year level. Right? It goes up, and it's going to be prohibitively so. Because what do you think the cost of insurance at the age of 69 is for the same 50 grand? How do you find that out? Do the quote. Make her 69. And you'll be able to get a number. And it's like $300 a month. And what does that do to her? Oh, 300, nah, that's a lot. I know. Why don't you cover your family for the same 50 grand for the next 15 years? You don't have to worry about it at all. And the cost will be less than what you would have in combination between your Bankers Life, which, by the way, is a whole life policy. How do you know that? Before I even looked at it, how did I know it was a whole life?
The life?
Huh?
Banker's Life. Is it just like in its name, or?
Well, I knew because from experience, I also know 15 grand. It doesn't cost $57 a month. It has to be a whole life. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because with term, it'll be even cheaper.
It'll be a lot cheaper if you got 15 grand in term. Right? Probably, and that was something like $25 a month. How do I know that? I looked at it. You can look it up, but you have quick quotes. Use them. Use them to your advantage. So what's one thing in this case that you guys notice, and it's going to be repetitive in the rest of them, and it's important? What am I doing here? Look, you got to ask questions on all that, obviously. Actually, let me give it to you because this time is running out. I dollarized it. Dollarize it. Give them numbers. It's easy to make decisions when you know what the numbers look like. And I didn't just stop at hours and what they currently have. I stopped at if you were to get another 50 grand at the age of 69, it's a couple $100 a month. Becomes too expensive. Or would you rather lock it in for 15 years and not worry about it? And by the way, what are your retirement goals? Let's talk about that. And I started asking, I started finding out. And in the process of finding out, I learned she's going to retire. She's going to have a pension, so on and so forth. Guess what? By the time you're ready to retire, I'll be the first one to tell you if you have 50 grand, which I'm going to help you get to, I'm going to tell you to stop it in the first place. I don't want you to really keep it for 15 years. If we can accomplish 50 to 100 grand in addition to your pension over the next 10 years, man, we golden. Wouldn't you rather have $100,000 and $50,000 in a life policy? Yes, Gabe. And I became their favorite Puerto Rican. Right? Next case. This is actually a case that I
Question.
with Tefan and her best friend, her partner in business, Shelby, right? It's a young couple, married couple, 24 and 27 years old, 2 young kids. You know, they make a couple $1,000 a month combined, right? He has a policy through work. She has a policy through State Farm for the last 3 years. 100 grand. I didn't even put the amount she pays. I think she was paying, if I remember correctly, $15 a month or $20 a month. I think it was, right? That's what she was paying. How do you overcome that? Because our policy, $150, 150 grand, was. You know what? I didn't even cover to. I didn't get to that point with her yet, but it's going to be like $32 a month.
Okay, is this a term or is this a whole life?
No, well, you tell me.
If she's paying $15 a month for 100,000 in coverage,
Mm-hmm.
Is she underinsured?
But number one, she's
term.
uninsured, correct.
It's a term.
Okay.
It is a term. It has to be because of the $15. It's only
Right.
15. Now, they're 24 on top of it, but $15 is how you call it, is very little. Now, somebody mentioned about being underinsured. Who said that?
Maurice.
Maurice, brother, what's going on, man? Yo, Maurice Donald, I used to whoop his butt in football all the time in every sport too, right? But yes, they're underinsured. How do we know that? How do we know they're underinsured?
based on their income.
Based on their income. They need to have at least $250,000 of coverage, at least. Right? That ensures that each of them has $200 to $2,500 a month for the next 20 years. So it's just, and think about it, 30-year level term, $150,000, $32 a month. It was actually 34 with waiver of premium. That's not going to be hard to overcome. It's going to be easy to overcome. Right? And then you combine both of them, you get them to at least $250,000 or more. You now do banding, and the premium goes down, I think, to $28, if I remember correctly, for the same coverage for the same individual. Now we look like heroes. And of course, I already covered with her. Horrible. You have it through work? No, I already overcame that. I mean, that's a given. I'm just not, I didn't cover it in this case.
And in our presentation, we got a State Farm example of a term.
Somebody learns them. Somebody reads the presentation. I hope my team takes notes on that. He knows every detail in that presentation. He reads it like it's a book.
Right, you won't get that annoying card from State Farm every year. Switch the cash value.
Right. Yeah, right, guys.
See, someone knows from experience, right?
It's Snake Farm. It's not State Farm. It's Snake Farm. So anyway, last case study. Let's see if we can do this in 5 minutes. So 54-year-old understands the need for having life insurance. They've had it now for 4 years, 100 grand, $53 a month. And she does feel she's underinsured. She knows she is, she wants more coverage. What do you do? So she was, let me kind of set it up for you. She was given an option to get a 10-year policy for 100 grand for 60 for 65, I think it was like $65 a month. I lost my notes. For $65 a month. I actually can confuse some of these clients, right? But for $65 a month. She wants it. And so here's the first thing I did. I started asking her questions. I didn't jump right into what you have, always horrible, this and that. Guys, always vet the situation. Find out what you're dealing with. Ray, you feel you're underinsured, okay? Well, I understand that. I appreciate that. You make X amount of money, so on and so forth. So I go through that with her. And then I started asking her, how much more money are you looking to get? How much more coverage? I just asked, right? Now, and then I got to the point where, do you feel that 10 years is long enough whereby you won't need life insurance anymore? Guys, that's a very important question when you're dealing with term. Because in most cases, they receive low-level terms. That's a very critical question. Do you feel that in the next 10 years, your family will not need you financially? That you'll be retired? You can ask it like that. It's probably better. Do you feel you'll be retired in the next 10 years? You know what they say in most cases? No. So that means that financially speaking, there will be a dependency there.
Monday.
Right?
Okay.
That's what that means. So use that to your advantage. Again, our policy came out to $73 a month, 20-year level term. Oops, sorry. And replace everything they have. That's the goal here, right? This here is a whole life policy.
A whole life, okay.
It's a whole life.
And then, I know I still use the dime.
Okay, cool.
That'll let us know exactly how much coverage they need based on their debt, the income, college education for kids, and death and final expenses. When you put that into consideration, you can see exactly how much coverage they need.
Exactly. That's what the dime method is, guys. It's another tool to use other than income replacement. I think they both work perfectly. We actually have a one-sheet calculation to go over that, to go over the dime method and how to use it and the questions to ask and everything. So perfect, man. Look, you just got to become a professional, man. You just got to know your stuff. Don't get intimidated by anyone and what they have. We can make the difference every time, every single time.
And she don't get the cash value in this.
On top of it. That's something I broke down too. Again, I didn't cover a lot of the whole life portion of it because I wanted to stick to the term. But hopefully that helps you guys. I don't know. You have any questions?
Yeah.
Anybody have questions?
Do you research? Is there like on POL? Is there a way to compare is there a thing where they compare companies to us?
On POL?
Yeah, or is that like independent
No,
research?
there are sheets that you can compare term us versus the industry term versus whole life, term versus universal life. Yes, there are sheets on that, and there are also videos that you can watch, and we have them too on our website, on our channel.
I mean, like individual companies.
Huh?
I mean, like individual companies, like
no, they're not able to kind of compare specific individual companies. They cannot.
Okay. All right.
They'll get in trouble if they do that. We can, like Snake Farm, New York Fake, or New York Knife, right? I can. Don't send this to anybody. I don't want to lose. If I lose my license, Tanya has hers, so it's all good. Awesome, guys. Listen, I hope